Well, just as we did in the Midwest Mail offering, we're ready to kick off our offering for Sweethearts of the Summer. And as I made mentioned earlier, the set of pigs that has come through the events and the sales here, it's been very remarkable how that they've got along for so many different people from one side of the coast to the other, year after year. And you know, we used to try to track, to be very honest with you, we used to track a lot of the pigs that come through anymore. To be very honest with you, it's hard to keep up with them from a standpoint of from North Carolina to Georgia to California and everything in between. The success that so many of them has created coming through this event has been very good. With that being said, I want to start out by saying that we have multiple delivery points. We have multiple consigners from different parts of the country. We've got consigners here today from Florida. We got consigners from California. We've got trucks and trailers that'll go multiple directions. So those of you that are watching, if there's something of interest that you have, trust me, one way or another, if you reach out to us and get a hold of us ahead of time, I would say that we can get them near you. So I think we had an absolute tremendous set of mails that we're going to offer tonight at 6 o'clock. Then we're fixing to follow up. This set of gilts, they'll be sold tomorrow at 1:26. That's 1:26 Eastern time. We'll try to get things kicked off. We're going to start off here this year. Lot 234 will be the first one you drop in. 233, I'm sorry. High Point Genetics will drop this one into the ring. We'll have Travis and Dylan talk you through this great set of females.
High Point's going to lead us off here, and he's got the 234 gilt here, the Hampshire. What's that? Boy, out of order. First mistake. 233. This would be a Hampshire gilt that these guys have raised hams forever, and Brent's been very influential in the breed. And coming off Perry, the champion reserve bearer, tremendous hogs, and they've sold some out of this ring that have really done some big-time things. 233 is her tag, and she's one that's extreme but very, very square. And I think that is extreme about muscle and just genuine back shape. A pig that's always going to have that in an overwhelming area that's going to have the benefit in the big ring. She's very good in terms of just stoutness ahead, comes at you and leaves you with width, and she's sired by Mach 1 on a cold chill. I think that they brought one that's not only going to be a unique kind of a show gilt in terms of having some differences in a good way. She's got resale value. She's got boar-making ability on down the way. An awesome way to lead off this gilt preview. 233 is her tag. High Point Genetics brought us a tremendous Hampshire gilt. High Point's other lot here, the Hampshire gilt, as I just said and sang Brent's praises there in the Hampshire deal. This is a gilt that they own in partnership with Dr. Logue, and 234 is the tag number here. Dr. Logue purchased this gilt at PT, and she's sired by Mach 1 Viper. I know that really, really high on that first gilt with some extremities in a good way. This one here looks like a absolute killer big ring gilt. She's one that's got shape, wild looking up front, level, square, and got that Hampshire attitude to go with it. But very square about her chest. She's got a big back working in her. I think that one there, look her back there. That's an awesome pair of Hampshire gilts, a little bit different in their type and kind, but got those extras. 234 is her tag number. A very, very good Hampshire gilt from High Point.
Mortensen Show Pigs in next. This is lot 116, 48-4. She's sired by Clarity. Mom would be a lead the way backdrop, and again, solid black, and I thought real memorable. I saw this gilt last night and then again this morning, and I thought the Mort Pigs have been just awesome this spring online and at the live sale events, and this one's an easy representation why. Really neat looking out front, short-bodied but long and level in her hip, great big in terms of her cage, has stoutness and feature and squareness, and to me looks like one. I know it's kind of redundant in the selling season. You can show early and often and late in between, but she looks like one you could go jackpot, and then her build and her balance and her look and her freshness can allow her to feed into the fall. They've sold the Clarity pigs well. They've looked good online. This one's no different. Be a Clarity, lead the way backdrop, Mortensen Show Pigs. Next in would be Thompson Show Pigs, and again, got a pair of them here. 160 would be the crossbred gilt, be 38-3, sired by Coldplay. Mom would be a top shelf, unashamed. This one's mother was campaigned successfully there in Georgia by the Goodman family, and their grandma was the popular gilt that Gift and Edie would have shown a couple winters ago. And again, Austin's been on a tear this spring selling pigs, and this crossbred gilt looks like a great representation why. And man, so square, so genuine down low. All of those pigs that he brings out are so good in their structure, memorable in their look, and this one's got so much in terms of look and feature and stoutness down low. A lot like the Mortensen entry, to me looks like one that you could get out and campaign early, show her as a lightweight at Expo, and continue her career into the Midwest State Fair run, and heck, maybe even into the fall. 161, the gilt that Austin would be on would be 33-7. She'd be sired by all of them. That's the All the Way son there at Wintex. Mom would be a Statement Day Rampage, and this one's I was kind of waiting for him to bring a littermate sister out on this mating. He had a real popular little male pig there at that First Chance that was sired by a littermate brother, I guess, and they've sold well. He brought 7,000, another one brought 5,750, and they'd share the same mom as I believe that was Hartzell's 4th overall D3 there at Expo last year. That was an awesome kind of a big gilt in the great division as well. This one's stout. She's burly, yet she's wild looking. Looks like kind of the blend and the best blend of both sides of her pedigree to me. Got the genuine squareness, the structure and the length of the hip that the Statement Days had. She's got some of the extra pieces that the All the Way derivatives are known for. I think a real good pair, a neat pair of gilts that offer some differences there from Thompson, 160 and 161.
All right, next up is going to be Swallow Farms. Gabe brought a board there that we talked earlier and has a littermate gilt here. Tag is 188, and Swallow Farms needs no introduction to making some boars that have generated, and honestly, they don't sell very many gilts. Usually they're lease gilt options that go back, and then they get them back, or there's not very many opportunities to buy gilts from these guys, and let alone this season. I know that Trace did a few years ago and is built off of that particular sow. But tag 188 is a nightcap money line. This gilt here, I think, not the biggest one in terms of size, but awesome necked in terms of her look. She's got shape, got that swallow belly and center body dimension, heavy structured kind of a gilt that offers some look from the side. I think a great kind of an opportunity, not only for a show gilt. She's going to have sow value. She's going to have resale value if a show family buys her. Tag 188, tremendous opportunity here from Swallow. All right, we're going to get in here to Kay Boyson, Cale Boyson. Thoughts are with him getting through some health scare there, but this firm has raised some absolutely tremendous pigs and got Dad filling in, a hog guy from a long way back with a lot of success, and it shows here because Cale absolutely sent one that the picture's good on Facebook, but look at her here in the ring. She's tremendously good. This bluegill is tag 131. She's an unrivaled buckle up. This gilt here is very intriguing. Awesome in her look, but absolutely giant legs. She's got a very strong front foot. She's stout about her head, but still opened up in her chest. This gilt here, I think, is one tremendous kind of a bluegill early in the parade, but to get out there to have that kind of feature, that kind of look, and still got the body and composition that's not bunchy. She's not quick. She's got some feedability to her. That is an awesome opportunity. 131's her tag. Kay Boyson Show Pigs. If you're serious about getting in on a blue one, that one there can show in April and last a good while. Very good animal, 131.
Next in is Juiceburn Show Pigs, lot number 211, 68-4, being all that work of art. Danica, again, Juiceburn's no strangers to success in the red breed, and again, I've admired, I guess, from afar there what they've been able to do with the all the way and that kind of stuff, back on those real good work of art sows. And again, this one, a lot like we talked with Austin's gilt, just combines the best of both worlds, in my opinion, in terms of offering just their patented build and structure and width and spread coming at you. I thought just in terms of her chest and her knee and that view coming at you, she's very impressive. And she's square, she's genuine up high, got a real stout and elegant kind of a red head on her there. I like those things about her. This particular gilt looks like to me it's just an awesome kind of a big one. I'd talk with Austin on where he maybe deems her end point, but man, her look, her balance, her proportionality, and just her quality of skeleton is so good. That's lot number 211. Awesome kind of a pig there and a great entry from Juiceburns. Next in would be G&S, lot number 105. Her ear notch is 29-1, and I wouldn't imagine we'd maybe have a more unique pedigree as we work through the offering. This gilt is a wide awake, so she'd be a double-bred wide awake there. And again, just as a sow influence to me, or buying a sow, you just hear her pedigree and initially be intrigued. This gilt's really unique to me just in terms of arm and feature. She's got a giant kind of a rear leg, a great big tail working in her, hard shape, really good spread. Looks good now in terms of pattern and build and just silhouette. But man, I think is a big one. Her structure, her stoutness, her freshness, and her quality of pedigree to be able to lap them. I know we've talked about, if you're buying them and hoping for some resale value at the end of the summer, G&S's stuff has always been at the forefront of obtaining some quality resale value and then tapping in that she's a double-bred wide awake. I think is very unique. This 105's got a memorable pedigree. She's a neat kind of a gilt in terms of look and balance and stoutness. I think a good pig that Garrett and his crew brings us there.
Stephen Mark Gray brings us just one lot here, and Mark has obviously been in the business a long time and raises very good ones and has for a long time. Influential in terms of making boars, but we've got a show gilt here that also has possibilities to generate we've seen it multiple times. These kind of females generating. She's a Culture Shock roll call kingpin. This is a gilt that he bought there from the Ohio Valley Show Pigs guys. She produced some of some very good ones in her first couple litters. Carson had a very popular show gilt last winter out of this particular sow. Culture Shock thing's been good. That's the Sloan boar there at Laird's, and this gilt here, shape, look, design, and I think one that offers some structure. Got a unique kind of a tail set in terms of just stoutness and, to her root, but still extended up in her head and neck. And they got to sell a gilt there a few years ago to Riley Wynn out of this particular ring that had some of those wow factors similar to this gilt. Lot 174, Steve and Mark Gray Show Pigs brings you a Culture Shock gilt. Lot 174. Rusty's got 134 there, more show pigs. Talked about these guys in the male preview and what Tony and the family's done there. Might be known as Hildy's neighbor up the road, but making a name for themselves because these guys have put a tremendous set of sows together, and it shows. And this 134 gilt is a track record. Anybody that's paid attention this spring, what the track records have been, and it looks like Russell's got this one dead broke already. She's good looking. She's balanced. She's a gilt that I think looks good now, but more importantly, she's got grow in her. She's got levelness, the top line. She's huge about her chest. She's square out of her hind leg with the right amount of muscle pattern. She's got a FAFO mom, and I think that particular gilt is one that's done a great job for him there, and I think a pig that's got a high ceiling. I like this gilt quite a bit. 134, more show pigs. Moors are going to bring their other lot. It's going to be lot 133. This is going to be a main line, and obviously main line there. Halfkins has done a tremendous job. The Hilty boar. This is one that's pounds smaller than the gilt that we just talked about. She's a main line. Money's on. Mother would be the gilt that he bought from Corb last year there at the Coalition. This is a mate to the boar pig, the tremendous boar pig they've got there in the offering there that we previewed earlier. Another one in terms of stoutness and squareness. She's got chest and width, comfortable out of her hind leg, and still one that offers some moderation if it's a breeding gilt, a market gilt, potential boar maker down the way. I think a unique opportunity. Main lines have been popular, not only selling and feeding, but resale value will be awfully good there in Moore's lot. 133 is her tag number.
Next in is Bedecker Farms with lot 106. This is 7-8 Duroc gilt, the one that Bryce is on. She'd be an over-the-limit crybaby. Over the limit would be the boar there that they have in stud, and then this one's mother would be the mother of their Sweethearts gilt last year that would have started the sale. And I remember I was sitting here and we were talking to them, and that gilt came into the ring, and she was incredibly memorable. The Knaut family would have shown her last summer and just did a fantastic kind of a job. I got to judge that gilt as a jackpot pig, and I believe she was in the top 5, I'm pretty sure about every time she showed there in the jackpot circuit, and then she'd have been a top 5 red at Expo in Louisville, and then finished there as champion Duroc, grand overall Land of Lincoln, and I believe 4th overall all breeds there at the Illinois State Fair. Had an incredible kind of a show career, and was very, very memorable. Looked like a great kind of a generator as well. And this 106 shares a lot of the same features, just in terms of that memorable, really stout kind of a head. Beautiful in terms of her build and her back and her spread up high. Gilt's awesome in her structure, has foot, bone, and feature down low. I think a neat pig, a proven pedigree, a very elite kind of a mother there in 106. Calder's on 107. That gilt would be 6-10. She'd be sired by All the Way. Mom would be a Kaboom sow. This particular gilt would share the same dam as No Vacancy, the boar there at Bedecker Farms. And again, this particular gilt, I think just in terms of look and elegance from the side, is so good. Her pattern, her build, her squareness of chest, her stoutness of feature, I think it's very good. She's a gilt that's got the right kind of length of hip and just quality to her structure. And man, I can't think of a place where All the Way has worked better than what it has for Bryson crew there. Just an awesome pair of red gilts. They've done a great job out of proven sows that have made a name for themselves within the breed. This 106 and 107, 106 would be the over the limit on the Knaut Gilt's mother. 107 would be an All the Way on No Vacancy's mother. A good pair of reds there from the Bedecker crew.
Staten Farms are going to be up next with the Poland here. This is tag 114. Dam was champion Poland at Illinois in 24. And then she raised the she sale gilt this past fall that sold for $5,000. Grandma is Runaway's mom. Good pedigree. These guys are known for quality kind of Polands, and just like their male pig that they had out earlier, got some outlying features in terms of body mass, comfortability. They've got hogs that maintain structural integrity, and I think that gilt there is one that's looks like one that's going to feed. She's going to continue and be an easy feeding, keeping one that's it's going to be fun to show early in April, but also be big enough in her type and kind to make a mature kind of a Poland show gilt there in tag 114. Her pedigree is jump start, quick trigger, no brakes, and obviously you're buying from a firm that wins at all different levels there. Neat opportunity, loose-made Poland that's flexible off both ends and has enough kind of a look. Tag 114, Staten Farms. Slammin' Sammy, Sam Shear Show Pigs is bringing us a landrace gilt that I talked to Sam yesterday there these guys have put on a very good set of these landrace females, and she's out of Pay Your Bills, the national sire of the year there in the Pig Planet and landrace. The mother's a happy hour have you. She's been a standout from the start. The mom just raised Macy Shears, a 5th overall landrace there at Perry last month, and her spring last year had the high seller there at their farm sale, and these guys won the landrace barras at Expo last year as well. So neat opportunity in terms of a landrace gilt. It's a very unique headed one. She's awesome at her chest in terms of squareness coming at you, leaves you with some shape and squareness, and I think one that's projection-wise, I think she's going to make a good kind of a big one that's got some out there kind of features, unique kind of a pedigree at the same time. 147's a tag, Sam Shear Show Pigs, landrace gilt. Keep bringing your lots up here, guys.
Albright's in next, and I'm glad I get to talk the Albright pig. I talked to a lot of them there for a while, and then he fired me as his Walton guy. So 194 is his lot. 259.7 would be her ear notch, and be a mindset heavy hitter. I got to see a few of those with that similar pedigree up there, and the mindset pigs have been so good. And in the write-up, man, her mom's had a great run there. She was reserve light crossed at the Winter National, and Mindset's sister was grand overall. I believe that was last year. And then Mindset would have sired the 5th overall at Perry, received reserve D1 at Nail, and then the grand overall there at Sweet Peach in his first crop. And I make it up north or even here in the state of Indiana. It seems like in that light cross division, it's just so good. You get to the backdrop and you figure that they're bred by Albright, and that usually comes to fruition. This particular gilt here looks like she could hold the same kind of quality and continue just his great run in that particular division. This gilt's really stout in terms of her bone, her feature, great big in terms of her body, her arm, and just her pin width. And then you study her up front. The width between her eyes, the toughness to her head is so good. And you step off to the side of her, and you wouldn't maybe imagine her to be just as attractive and as good looking, as tall as shouldered as what she is. She's very, very impressive. I think a neat piece in the blues and can dang sure run with the darks. That's 194. That'd be a mindset heavy hitter, Albright Swine Farms. Loudermilk is in next with lots 129 and 130. We'll start with the smaller gilt. That's lot 129. She'd be 11-7 would be her ear notch. Be a spot-on Big Daddy throwdown. And then again, this particular sow would have originated from Boyson and raised their very best litter, they would have said, last fall. And man, when this thing poked her head out of the gate, you usually don't see spots with just that kind of arrogance and look. Just awesome from the side in terms of her silhouette, her pattern. Looks like one that later in her show career can just lap them things in terms of structure, freshness, and build. I think a real neat kind of a piece there, and that tag 129 gilt. The bigger one that Troy's on is lot 130. She'd be 5-3, a white lines, big stack, loudmouth, and again, mother here has raised up a pile of accolades and done just an awesome job. And again, just looks like to me a little bigger version of the other one. Awesome about her look. Pattern and silhouette and build is just so flawless. Gilt's got a great turn to her body, and awesome kind of a look from the side. But man, I'd say both of these probably a little differing in their endpoints. Their structure, their look, their pattern is so impressive. It's a really good pair of spotted gilts there from the Loudermilk crew. 129 and 130, a spot on the white lines.
.308 is going to be the one up here, Burling Show Pigs. This is a landrace gilt that is a littermate to that tremendous landrace male pig that's guessing going to be a boar. So a warning track, happy hour, ride share. These guys have had an awesome run in the landrace deal. First warning. Our warning track is the Pruitt boar. These are the first few to sell there. Littermate gilts gilts warning track just got used by a few people. $10,000, $9,000, $7,000. I think that they're off to something awfully good here. This is a good-looking one that balances up so well. Front foot's going to be good. Look, design, squareness. A gilt that's going to look good if you want a jackpot or an April, but still has that kind of design, build, and function. Should be able to make it to August. Unique opportunity to buy a show gilt and littermate to a future boar. 308 is the tag number, Burling Show Pigs. Diamond B Show Pigs. I think this is the first trip to Lebanon. Is that right? So welcome there. These guys had a great weekend. We're going to start with that Chester right there, and didn't even look at the sheet, but it looks like their boar from last week, and they brought a boar there to Chosen Ones that brought $37,000 with a littermate to this Chester here. Double dipping, big screen. Look from the side and tail set is a dead giveaway. One that I think is very comfortable in terms of just build, composition. She's square enough and has good structure. She's awesome in terms of her head shape, but still extended levelness, correctness, the right kind of Chester gill to make a good kind of a mature one. I think a unique opportunity there in the 196 tag there for Diamond B. I think an awesome individual there that's got a littermate gilt that went to Laird's for $37,000. There, that Chester gilt. The Red Roan, the Calico gilt is 197. Another one awesome in terms of her presence from the side. She's a long-necked one that's level and square. Tail set is incredibly good in terms of just her composition and levelness on the side. She's square. Her setup front's good, and I think one that's a feedability on this particular gilt. As a big ring, mature gilt, I think she's going to be a flashy one with, I'm guessing she'll darken up and have a neat color pattern as well. 197 is her tag. Her pedigree is platinum, which would be the Rigsbore there at Laird's, back on an Out for Blood. So unique opportunity. I think two very, very high quality individuals. More importantly, I think they're going to feed into big mature ones and be better days ahead. 197 is the cross. The Chester is 196. Diamond B Show Pigs.
Pruitt would be in next, and a good pair here in the dark cross division. Clay will be on 241. Gilt would be ear notch should be 11-3. She would be a Stinger backdrop. Mom here would have grazed the grand champion market hog at the Henry County Fair last year, and this thing is maybe it's stout, is dense, and is burly a one that's run through all day. That is a giant foot, a great big kind of a hind leg. Looks like one that's still got a neat look up front. She's level back. She's long and loose out of her hip. That's a very neat kind of a pig. Looks like an awesome show gilt. Looks like a really good kind of a generator in that tag 241. That's a good pig. 242 would be ear notched 13.5, be another Stinger sired gilt. Mom would be a chosen one sired sow there. Mom here would have raised the 5th overall light cross gilt at the 2025 Indiana State Fair. And again, this one a little wider belted gilt there, if you will. Really elite just about her look and her pattern and her silhouette. Awesome in her view coming at you. Neat in terms of her just size of her rear leg, her length of rump, the usage of her hind leg. This gilt to me probably looks like one that you could cap out at maybe just a little bigger weight, but she's no slouch in terms of just foot and feature and stoutness. Man, this pair from Pruitt are both Stinger sired. They're both very, very good and very high quality. Be interesting to see where they end up. That's 241 and 242, both Stinger sired gilts from Pruitt Livestock. Trogdon would be in next with lot number 245. This is 26-9. Gilt would be sired by Worldwide. Dam would be a pass the hat rock star back on Endgame sister. And again, the Trogdon crew is no strangers to success and have raised winning barras, winning gilts, and generating boars. This one to me looks like just a great reason why. Looks like an easy feed with a ton of extras. So square and just her view coming and going. Neat about her look. Got the right kind of proportions and height to length ratio there. Big in her arms, square when she leaves you. Her pin width, her stifle shape, and just her spread going away. Yet her elegance down low, I think is so good. Got that black toe up front that sets her off. Looks like an awesome kind of a show gilt. Looks like she can be a very good big one later in the summer and then have a ton of resale value there. That'd be lot 245, 26-9, a Worldwide sired gilt from Trogdon Farms.
Adam Beck and family, a young breeder here from Indiana. Adam's just getting started here. No, just kidding. They've got a pair of these pures that usually he saves some highlight reels for this particular event, and looks the part that they did that. Lot 205 is going to be the red gilt. She's a testimony rock, and the dam of this 3-liter is one of their favorite sows, coming off a good career there. The Cantrell had 4th overall Duroc at OYE. Sired by Testimony, and Testimony's been just absolutely tremendous for them. And the littermates were sold there. The littermates Reds are sold at the Establish and the Connection there. So a very, very good red gilt. And Adams' just lineup of reds year after year, it works. They feed, and I think that gilt there is the right type and kind. She's the right muscle pattern. She's square. She's heavy bone. Awesome in terms of her head shape with that kind of extension. She pokes her head through the gate. Regardless where you're at, you're going to get thrown back because she's stout about her head, yet extended about her neck. I think a very, very unique kind of a red gilt there that Beck brought us there in lot 205. Yorkshire Gilt is 204. She's a loaded gun hit list. I know that some litter mates sold some awfully good, awfully well there in the online sale. The mother has done a very good job for them. She won her class at Houston in 23. That looks like a Yorkshire Gilt. It's going to be just an absolute horse. As a big ring, kind of a stout one. She's stout about her head. She still opens up with some chest, good front foot placement, and I think one that just balances up really good. I think as a mature, she could be awfully good. Really good pair here of these pure gilts that Beck brought us. 204 is the Yorkshire. 205 is the Duroc. Ogle Genetics, Brandon. He is here. No smoke break. 127 is the lot number we're going to get out here. This is an all-access Real Talk gilt, and I talked with Ogle, obviously one of my good buddies there. Extremely pumped up about this gilt, and rightfully so. All-access is the board there at Moyer's. It's extremely popular, and the Real Talk sow there. That's a board that Beck that Ogle raised there at Laird's. Grandma's a tricked out sow, bred by Cobb, the black-headed gilt that Hendrickson showed. So neat opportunity. I see a lot of possibilities with this one in terms of squareness, look from the side, composition, body shape, angulation, and set off both ends of her skeleton. For a little gilt, I think she can get out and go extremely well, and the right kind of muscle pattern. She's wide set, yet she's not a bubble hipped one by any means. I think that gilt there is going to be one that can be shown for a good long time, be competitive, be a sow, have resale value. I think an awesome gilt there that Ogle's brought. I don't know if he's ever been in Sweethearts before, so this is the best gilt you've ever brought to Sweethearts. But no, needless to say, that gilt I think is awesome. She's tagged 127. Be sure to check her out.
Reynolds in next. The spot gilt would be lot 142. 66-4 would be her ear notch. Be sired by Hit the Ditch. Dan would be a button-up sow. Grandma here just raised the reserve champion spot bearer at the 2024 Exposition and National Junior Summer Spectacular. And spot gilts in the lineup look very, very good. And their time frame, the show looks broad. And same could be said with this gilt. Man, she's stout just in terms of her indicators, her arm, her feature, her foot size. Got a really neat look out front. Really, really good in terms of her structure. And then at the same time, she's got a big kind of a hair coat working on her, which I think could aid to her advantage as we work deeper into the summer. Neat kind of a pig there, and that Hit the Ditch sired spotted gilt. 141 would be 63-3, be a Logic sired gilt. Dame would be a Wild Ride drop kick. Grandma here was the champion breeding gilt at the Kentucky State Fair in 2022. This 141 gilt is neat to me, and one that, again, I think the crosses really offer a wide range of just endpoints, and I know we've talked about some that can jackpot and show for a wide period of time. This one's really stout to me, just in terms of her arm, her feature, just her density of her rear bone, the column to her rear bone there when she leaves. She's broad in her body, but she doesn't look like a quick one by any stretch of the imagination. Got an awesome shape to her head, got a good length to her cannon. Looks like she could make a real good kind of a big one. But another one that you won't have to sit on her whole life. You can take her out, you can show her, you can jackpot her. She's got features, she's got stoutness, got a neat kind of look from the side. The Logics have been good. 63-3 looks like she could carry on that trend. 141 and 142 from Reynolds Farms, a spot and a crossbred. Next in would be Wellman Livestock, lot number 250. This gilt would be 35-7, be sired by Surrender. Dan would be a white feather, next to nothing. And again, this one would be out of a first litter gilt there. And I'll be honest, I don't know if anybody's just offerings throughout the spring have been more impressive than what Tyler's have been. Man, every time I see he's got a sale on Facebook, those pigs look incredible as a whole. And this calico gilt is easy to see why. It doesn't look like she took tagging just the best, but man, that's a wild looking gilt. Incredibly stout in terms of her feature. Got a great just roll and turn there to her body cavity. Big in terms of her rear legs. She's elegant about her look. Got a great big stout tail working on the top side of her hip there. This is a neat looking, good built one. You know, while I was at Iowa State, Tyler was fun to watch, and man, became more familiar with their program because they would win at a high clip, at a high level, and been winning just about everywhere he's been. I think a real neat kind of a pig here in this lot 250. Be a Surrender, white feather, next to nothing.
237, Sheese Livestock. Guy beside me doesn't want to talk his own pigs, but I got to see a couple of these as we went up there, and he had them saved back for this particular event, coming off a very successful online sale. I know that he's very high on this pair. 237 is the one that Riley's got in here. Clockwork Slumlord, I think a gilt that obviously has a very unique kind of look in terms of having that sheath muscle and power. Center body's kind of the kind that you like to feed. Another one that's got that extension up front. Clockwork would be the boar that he's got that he sold to Laird's there at First Chance last year. So done a good job here in the first crop. I know that Stewart got along extremely well with him as well. Unique looking kind of a gilt that's loose up front, and I think one that's going to be an easy maintaining one. Jackpot possibilities as well. That's tag 237, Sheese Livestock. The next gilt is tag 236, and this gilt I actually got to see a couple times before the online sale and after the online sale. She's sired by Dagger, and then her mom is a main character. The mom is Bear Paul's aunt and raised the $13,000 gilt out of their summer litter there. The Struce had a lot of success with there. Jackpotting. This one here, I think, is the right type and kind from Sheese. Look, design, elevation up front, level made kind of a gilt that I think not only looks good now, but I think she makes a tremendous kind of a mature gilt. If it's July, if it's August, I think she's got those possibilities. If you like them good looking, loose, flexible, with a very good future, 236 is her tag. Dieterding is going to be up here next. Kevin sent some pigs up here from Oklahoma. The gilt, the off-belted gilt, is where we're going to start. She is tagged 303, sired by Logic back on the George sow. That would be a TKO sow. I think a gilt that the Logics have sold extremely well. I think a gilt, very dual-purposed, market breeding, square-made one that's got some structure. She's got a very unique look up front, shape, design, and bone. I think that gilt could be fun to show for a good while. That kind of hip and hind leg with muscle, I think, is a tremendous opportunity. Lot 303 is going to be the off-belt. Lot 304 is the greener made gilt, but good pedigree. She's a golden era, game time, never before. The game time sow there came from OYE. The never before sow is that Boble sow from a few years ago there that was sold as a bred gilt that we sold to Dieterding, and she raised the Grand Barrett, Nebraska there for Goss a few times ago, raised full swing at Laird. So neat opportunity. I know she's maybe not as filled up, but unique looking, level made kind of a gilt that I think's going to be an awfully good kind of a big ring gilt. That's tag 304, traditional belt. The off belt is tag 303.
Next in is Malcolm Show Pigs, 148 and 149. We'll start there with 149, that'd be the gilt that Mike is on. Gilt would be a Last Word landmine, pumped up. And again, I'd have had the opportunity to see these 10 days or so ago when we were doing their Walton, and looked like awesome gilts then, and have fed into greater, or fed in to look like they can make great big ones. And this 149 to me is awesome about her look. She's square back, she's big hip, got a beautiful kind of a set to the lower portion of her skeleton. Gilt's round and bold in her rib cage and opened up, coming and going. I think a neat kind of a pig there in 149. Brody's on 148. This gilt would be 21-7. Sired by He's Back. That'd be the Wilson boar there at High Point. Dan would be an All By Myself Times Up. And then Mom would be the Reserve Yorkshire gilt there at the 2024 Expo. And again, this one hit me real good when I saw her. I know Mike had said, and we're penned together back there, maybe took the trip just a shade harder. But man, her look is so memorable. Her feet are big, her bones are stout. Got a great kind of a balance from the side. And again, for one that hadn't ate and just drank, great here. Her body shape and just the roll to her rib cage, I still think is very good. Looks like one you take her home, you feed on her. Her look, her balance, her structure can get you along no matter where you end up showing her. So that'd be 148 and 149. Pair of Yorkshire gilts there from Malcolm Show Pigs. He's Back, and a Last Word. Lot 151 here from Platt Show Pigs is 131-3, B23, House Arrest, Jet Black, Berkshire gilt here. And again, obviously just a shade smaller, but to me, looks like the ideal size for August. B23 would be a boar there at Heimers, and then this particular gilt would be a result of a bred gilt from there. And obviously, maybe no hotter firm in the Berkshire business than what Travis and crew has been. I think they were reserve at San Antonio, the last 2 years. They have the Everhart gilt that just has an incredible run this past summer. A plethora of really good Berkshires. Had the Everhart gilt that had a good run this winter as well. This one looks like so many of them that have been so good. Awesome about her look. Really big and stout in terms of a rear bone and just a rear leg. Neat kind of a pattern gilt. Awesome there in terms of a rib cage. I think this 151 can be very memorable, especially in a big ring setting later on this summer. The Hampshire made an early entrance there. That'd be lot 150. She'd be 128-7, be sired by Pledge. Mom would be an Exclamation Eduardo, and again, the Pledge boar would be the Heimer sire there that won the Hamps at Nebraska State Fair, and her sister is Heggy's Expo champ that 650 would have there, and Brantley, or Grandma would be Brantley's grand overall gilt in Perry in 2023. And you hear that as we kind of jumbled through it there, but this gilt really maybe wouldn't have to look like much to bring good money. And man, I think her quality and her build and her balance is so good. And she's a high quality little critter here in terms of look, balance, set off of both ends of her skeleton. I think, as we study Hampshire gilts, it's hard to make them that good in the slope to their shoulder, that kind of reach off either end. She's got a beautiful pattern and a beautiful look. I'd say you get done at the State Fair time frame, you'll be looking back and you'll think Platt may have been the premier seller there at the Sweethearts for the summer, because I think these things are built for August, have the right kind of look to be very competitive in a big ring setting.
Hankey's in here next. Hankey Livestock brought us a pair. I've got a Chester and a Poland. These guys are off to a very good spring, and I think got the quality. And they brought us a couple breed gilts here. We'll start with the Poland. She's sired by a Step Ahead, back on a head start. The 17 litter's mother would have been champion Poland on the 4-H side at Missouri State Fair in 24. Litter mate to the reserve at Royal, and champion FFA at Missouri as well. So neat kind of a gilt that offers a bigger ring kind of a presence in terms of head and neck extension. I think a gilt that can feed into a bigger, mature, big ring gilt that's got a little more stretch to her in a good way. She's still very heavy duty. A gilt that I think reads with structure as as well. Unique in terms of her head and neck, but still stout about her skull. That's lot 217, the Poland. Lot 216 is going to be the Chester. She's a self-aware friction. This litter, the litter they've been waiting on, a gilt that they found there at RNC. She did extremely well in 24 jackpot circuit there. Self-aware has done a good job in terms of putting that look and design. That gilt's got great shape and muscularity. I think another one that feedability is going to be awfully good on this particular gilt with that kind of look from the side. I think a unique kind of a hog. Both of these gilts, I think, can feed on to heavier weights with a very high ceiling. 216 is going to be the Chester. 217 will be the Poland. All right, Atkins Livestock. Alec needs not much of an introduction for what he's done with his operation. We're going to start. He brought a Berkshire and a crossbred gilt. We'll start with the little cross gilt, sired by Stud Monkey, the Brockman boar there at Laird's. Next intention, play it cool. The mom of the cross gilt is a mate to Camlin Mason's grand overall there at Angelo in 24. And I think that little cross gilt is one that's got some life ahead of her, but levels up good. Got that Stud Monkey kind of stoutness to head. Opens up with some shape and center body. I think a very, very good kind of a gilt. Proven sow line as well with that next intention, play it cool. Some of that canal stuff back the way that's surely generated for sure there. And tag 213 is going to be the cross gilt. The Berkshire gilt, I think, is one that's tremendously good in terms of her composition and design. She's a rule the roost, blessed on a Scout's honor. Man, levelness, stoutness, shape, and have that kind of head shape and just forearm, but still have the extension. And I think better days are ahead for this one. That gilt there looks like one that's going to be an awesome kind of a show gilt that offers some of those extras in terms of just feature, stoutness. I think one that's going to be awfully, awfully good as a big one. Awesome pair here from Atkins Livestock. 212 is going to be the Berkshire. 213 is going to be the cross.
Olsen Yorkshire's in next, and we'll start with the Yorkshire gilt. This gilt would be lot 125, 261-4. Be sired by Pilot On. Dan would be an instant all, and again, just Olsen and Yorkshire gilts are so synonymous with quality. And this particular gilt here, to me, is very interesting and really unique, especially where we're at in the Yorkshire business. Her stoutness and her front foot, her view coming at you is so impressive. Stout about her head, broad in her arm, big in her chest. Gilt's long and level out of her hip. Got a dense kind of a tail root. Looks like a stouty now, but man, her build, her balance, and just her presence, I think it's really, really impressive. That's a neat kind of a show gilt, an awesome kind of a breeding piece, and honestly, maybe just what the Yorkshire breed could stand just a little more of in this particular time. 124 is a red gilt. 256-3 would be her notch, sired by Boots, and Dan would be a Waymaker sow, and I know that crew got along good using Waymaker, and it looks like they've been generating for them. And this particular gilt, a lot like the Yorkshire, really, really stout in terms of her head, her arm, her chest, big in her rib cage, dense from behind, got the right kind of foot feature and bone work, I think, to be very, very competitive. To me, both these gilts look like you could get them out and show them maybe in an earlier time frame, but man, they look like as big ring kind of a gilts at the end of their show career. They're very, very good. They're very, very stout. Again, be Olsen Yorkshires, 124 and 125. 124 would be a Boots Sire Duroc gilt. 125 would be a Pilot On Yorkshire.
Yeah, Randy's boy here, Austin Denhart. Denharts have been in the pig game a long, long time, ever since we were all showing it as young ones. And man, they've started back the sow herd there the past 4 or 5 years, and off to an incredible run in terms of not only making some bores and studs, some generators, and these guys have brought an awfully good kind of a gilt here. This is tag 305. She's an unrivaled roll call, quite frankly. Grandma is the mother of the $41,000 pig they sold at the opener this summer, and the $20,000 gilt in their first online sale. So just a neat opportunity. That mom's a litter mate to the Dryer Blue Gilt that was top 5 multiple times there last go round. So, and grandmother is the mother of Relentless, and Relentless is raised by these guys. Very popular boar that's doing a tremendous job. Bone, squareness, power, center body, dimension, show gilt, sow prospect. I think that sums it all up in this particular hog. She's one that's very, very mobile for a stout one. I think in importance, she's still got a lot of life ahead of her, and you can project her as a big ring show gilt, having that kind of stoutness, that kind of looseness out of her hip and hind leg. I think a very unique opportunity Denhart brings us. They brought us one, but they brought us an awfully good one. 305's their tag. Make sure you check her out.
Armstrong Genetics are in next with a spotted gilt. Be 1-6, sired by Pretty Boy. Dan would be a rebar sow. Pretty Boy would be a boar there that they have in-house at Armstrong Genetics. And again, Grandma raced the Champion Barra at the Oklahoma Youth Expo in 2022. In this particular gilt, awesome just about her color pattern in terms of first impressions. But again, look and balance and symmetry is so good from the side. And I tell you, these spot gilts in the offering are just really neat-headed, beautiful pattern. This one's probably packing just a little more punch in terms of rib and cage. Back and spread from behind is really good. Gilt stout in her rump, square coming at you, leaves you genuine and very comfortable in terms of the assembly of her lower joints. I like this 306 gilt, a good deal from Armstrong Genetics. Be a Pretty Boy rebar. $650 would be in next with lots 238 and 239. We'll start with the Chester. 23-5 would be her notch, be sired by All Inclusive. Dan would be making waves on the Geyer sow. She would have raised the Reserve Chester Bear at Kansas City, Reserve Chester Bear at Wisconsin State Fair, Kansas State Fair, and the Reserve Chester Gilt at the Music Drive Regional in her first litter. She also had a really successful show career at Team Purebred in the Illinois State Fair, and is a full sib to the Champion Chester Bear at San Antonio in 2025. This 23-5 gilt is a full sib in blood to the Champion Chester Gilt at the Texas National last month. And again, a repeat mating where there's already been some winners and certainly some success. Obviously takes a little bit of the guesswork out, but then you look at the pig, her quality is so good. I saw a rear shot of her when she came in, just in terms of stoutness and dimension and spread, and then she turns the corner and you see her head shape, you see her look, and just how fresh and alert she is. And again, so impressive in that regard. I thought this gilt's width, the chest, her spread, her power is so good. Her size looks like she could feed later into the show career. Be a very good big one at a Midwest State Fair time setting. 238 would be the Poland gilt. She'd be a Tig on Viper's mother. Again, Viper had a great run there and be the Venom sired pig. Tig would be the new boar at 650, standing there at Laird's. He's a mate to the Champion Baron, third overall Poland gilt at Indy in 2025. And then the mother would be the Amos sow of 2024 that had that dominant run that won Expo and NJSS. The dam of this particular gilt is a mate to the Champion Bear at Ohio and Reserve Bear at Indy, and is also the same mother of Viper at Laird's. And a stacked up pedigree those boars have generated, and again, quality here is so good in this particular gilt. Another one like we talked about, it really doesn't matter what they look like because their pedigree is so good. And then the gilt comes in and has quality. She's stout, she's heavy boned, she's really neat looking. A lot like the Platte entries, they look like they're going to be at their best, I think, later this summer at Midwest State Fair size setting. I'd say this pair from 650 be hard to turn. A really neat, stout-headed Poland gilt, an exotic-looking kind of a Chester, 238, 239 from from the crew at 650.
Is the landrace a mate to the boar? You may know. All right, Waymer Show Pigs there from the beautiful Poseyville, Indiana, brought us a tremendous landrace male and decided to bring us a landrace and spot here in the gilt side of things. We'll start with the landrace gilt. She's sired by Midland. Midland's the littermate gilt to their landman, the champion boar they had at Expo that Beck bought there. And the mother would be in happy hour. I think these guys have been very, very competitive in the landrace deal. 3 weeks of sales in a row. I think that they said that this gilt did not was slated for this particular event. Heavy structured kind of a hog with a loose hind leg. She's got a big arm working in her. I think one that's going to be an easy feeding one with that kind of structure and build. Her comfort and flexibility behind, I think, second to none for this breed. She's got the extras in terms of density and hair, which will also be an advantage in that particular breed and that ring. I think an awesome opportunity of a very, very good land race, lot 315. The spotted hog is going to be a time machine, Mr. Irrelevant. Mother is a full sib to the reserve spot gilt there at State Fair. The Kaiser family bred by them, and Bender showed it last year at State Fair. I think a gilt that offers some shape and moderation. Center body's good, and I think another one that balances up and levels up good. Maybe not just cooperating the best, but be sure to check her out there in the back because she offers some of the extras in terms of body dimension and just levelness from the side. Lot 316, Waymer Show Pig spot. Lot 315, a very exotic stout-made landrace gilt. Hayden's brother Brody's got the Kilmer lot coming in here next, and James is getting ready to judge there at the Texas Elite. So they brought us a Yorkshire gilt that's sired by Last of My Kind on a Jasper Dominator. Kilmer's no stranger to making some generating Yorkshires and ones that feed and always in the hunt any show you go to. Mother is was the 4th overall York gilt there in Perry. Remember that gilt there from a few years ago. She's produced a bunch of winners and some boars that they've had. Last of My Kind was the boar there that they sold in the draft to Schaefer's, and I know that Jim went back and used that boar, and those pigs have been good there at Kilmer's. And this is a gilt here. She's rawer in her type and kind. What you get is what you see at Kilmer Swine Farm, and there's a reason they're always there at the end winning because hogs feed, project. She's got a great look. She's loose. She's comfortable. She's got enough kind of shape and muscle. I think a pig that's got a good ceiling. Obviously, they feed out of that program. Tag 180, Kilmer Swine Farm, Yorkshire gilt. Got Landry and Owen's sisters out here showing the Rotoball entries, Rotoball genetic team. They brought us a Hampshire and a Yorkshire, and just like the Kilmer deal, guys that have been in the industry a long time and still very, very relevant on making good ones. The Hampshire Guild is a Denali Freelancer. This is a mate to their $3,000 bearer. They had it extravaganza, and the litter mate is a litter mate to the $47,000 Rock of Ages there at Danner's. These guys have had a great run in the Hampshire ring and offer some unique breeding pieces in terms of shape and muscle and just rawness of that Hampshire gilt. She's one, I think, obviously, you get her home, you feed her, you get her fat. She makes a nice kind of a big gilt that's got some extra shape, muscle, and she's got enough kind of a presence on the side with a very predictable pedigree. Yorkshire deal's been always good there. They went back and used the Wilson boar there that Beck and Jason bought last year at Expo. That has done a very good job. The pigs that we got to see, that was a rotoball raised boar back on a landmine sow. The dam of this particular gilt raised Icebox at Canes. That gilt there on the Yorkshire side of things, in terms of stoutness ahead, still comes at you with chest and squareness. She's level, she's correct, awesome in terms of her hip and hind leg. Yorkshire gilts that look like that with that kind of build and function. She's not quick in her muscle. She's not 87 feet tall either. She's right in every area. She's heavy boned. She's square. She's correct. She's elegant, but still stout about her head. I'd say that gilt's going to feed absolutely tremendous. 178 is that Yorkshire gilt's tag. Hampshire gilt 179. Rotoball genetic team.
Next in is O'Connor Show Pigs, lot 222, 4-9, be a wide awake. Picture this, my intention. This gilt's mother would have raised, or this gilt, I guess, would be a 3/4 sib to the Holderly Barra. Mother would have raised that pig that was champion Division I at Nail in 2025 and had a real good run there. And again, that pig was very, very unique, and man, he'd have been fun to see, fun to have seen maxed out there at a bigger weight, because that pig was so good, and it was very, very memorable, I thought, in that lightweight division. And this 222 gilt, to me, offers so many good pieces, and it fits together so well. Just the look ahead of her shoulder, the height through her shoulder there, the look ahead of her blade, really big in terms of her body cavity, long and level out of her hip, and comfortable in the lower part of her skeleton, I think is really, really impressive. Then she's square coming at you. She's got spread off of both ends of her build. Man, she looks like one that's an elite kind of a big gilt, but one you can jackpot and never really get you in the ditch with a lot of extras. I think 222 from O'Connor Show Pigs is very, very memorable. A neat kind of a gilt sired by Wide Awake. Next in is Olson Farms with lot number 156. 8-8 would be this gilt's ear notch, and I was a little worried they were kind of getting out of the red business and leaning towards to the mother breed there. But again, they bring a really stout, really unique kind of a red gilt here, sired by all of them. Mom would be a swing your sword sow, and man, you know, the Olson influence is just so good amongst the red breed, and whether it be on the top and bottom side of the pedigrees, they're so good, and they've generated for so many different people. And this 156 is a reason why. Man, she's got a stout head, a tidy and neat little ear set working on her, big in her chest, broad in her arm, really stout in terms of their circumference of bone. I think a neat kind of a show gilt. More importantly, this lot 156 looks like an elite kind of a generator to me, just in terms of her stoutness, her build quality, her structure at the bottom side of her build there is so good. Olson Farms, and all of them sired gilt out of a swinger sword sow. Neat kind of a red pig here to be represented as lot 156. Canal Show Pigs comes in next with lot 207. 60-6 would be this gilt's ear notch, and she'd be a ringleader, play it cool. Her extended pedigree would be a ringleader, play it cool, breaking rules as mother. Mate brother sold for $15,000 there at Chosen Ones, and that was a good pig. And again, went to Crossroads, and be look forward to watching that boar mature and see how he generates. And man, right off the bat, another one just pedigree wise and already proven what's in there. You got yourself a neat kind of a prospect. Really stout, broad coming at you, big in her chest, broad in her arms, square up high, stout when she leaves you, has foot, has feature, has an awesome kind of a look. We would have bought a couple of these ringleader gilts from Canal last summer, got them quarantined, threw them on slats, and having to give them a whole lot of love and care. But man, their quality looks good. They look like they're really bulletproof in terms of how they're going to feed. This one comes with a few more extras in terms of foot feature and stoutness. A firm that's been doing it really, really well for a long time. They raise gilts that generate. They lay down. They have their pigs. They make their new owners very, very happy. And this 207 gilt looks like she can continue that trend. Calder brings us a good one from the crew in Milford.
CNC is going to be in next from Oklahoma, and Austin and Justin, just good dudes that raise the right type and kind, and obviously have put some boars into stud that have been influential, but raised bears and gilts that win. And these gilts, I think, are just as they step in, just evaluating the first couple steps. I would say tune in, because I think they brought a pair to Indiana that are awfully good. To start off, we'll talk about the what is that? What is it? 137 gilt there, and that's going to be a lead-off, wide awake, quite frankly. That one's Dam's a litter mate to far and wide there at Laird's Everyday Hustle there at Evan Green's, and a gilt at OIE that brought 30,000. This was the deepest litter this time, and they brought their favorite gilt to Sweethearts, to say the least. So that gilt is stout. She's opened up. She's a good centered kind of a hog that's got very, very good in terms of structure and bone work. But with that said, she's going to be a good show gilt. She looks like a generating breeding piece that's just got so much value wrote on her from those aspects. If it's a resale value, if it's to put back in your keeper pen. Unique opportunity. The belted gilt rolling across there, 137. The next one that Austin's got there is going to be 138, and that gilt there is a Knife Talk Hero Visionary. Mother behind this gilt's a mother of Hope there at Schley's that they bought out of the Lidner sale. Hope's first set of pigs are hitting the ground that they're very excited about. But this Knife Talk hog is a hog there that tape-in raised there at Halfkins. And this gilt here, I think, has got a presence on the side. This tag 138, look, design, levelness of hip, and one that's got a big root working in her. Proportions are good. Everything matches in terms of the way she utilizes her shoulder and her forearm. I think is tremendously good. I think that gilt's going to be a fun one to show in April. She's going to be a fun one to show in August. That's an awesome pair of gilts from CNC. 137 right here, 130 and 138. Oh, sorry, 137's the belted gilt right here. 138 is towards the out gate. Todd Show Pigs, Poland herd. They brought a tremendous male pig. Gary has sent another very good Poland gilt here that, she's not the biggest one. Like Dylan said, some of the other ones in the lot, it's a long time till August. And the good ones that look like this, skeletally wise, are going to be the good ones there in August. Tag 136 is her tag. She's an altogether head start. A full sib was reserve grand overall there at Tulsa. Last go round. Look, design, composition, heaviness of structure. This Todd's Poland's program is absolutely tremendous. Winning at all levels, selling them good. More importantly, these hogs win so much in terms of this Poland ring. With that kind of feature, that kind of flexibility, if you're in the Poland market, I would say check out this Todd entry here. 136 is her tag.
Next in is Hammock Show Pigs. Got a pair of them here, 139 and 140. 139 is the target hipped gilt there in the middle, and she would be a 27-5, be sired by Flip Cup out of a modern-day sow. Mom would be a litter mate to the $15,000 she sale gilt in 2024, which would have raised Riker Johnson's 4th overall Division I gilt at the Oklahoma Bred Swine Expo last week. And, man, I saw a picture of that one on Facebook, and I thought that was a really memorable picture and a very stout kind of a gilt. And I saw this pair working their way up in the preview there and coming in through the cut gates. They are incredibly stout. They are very big-legged, extra heavy bone. This target hip gilt, giant rear leg, big in her upper hip, beautiful about her look. Got a breeding pig kind of a head on her. She's square coming at you. She's got giant front feet, an awesome look from the side. Easy to see why old sports picker there's gilt took such a good picture. This one is so stout, so beautiful from the side, and extra square coming and going. I think a neat kind of a pig. 140 would be 29-5. That would be more of the chromed up gilt, if you will. She'd be sired by Everyday Hustle out of a modern day sow. And again, sow's litter mate would be the $15,000 she sale gilt in 2024. They would have bought back every sister to that particular gilt and starting to write their own story. And then she would have raised or I guess this sow would be the aunt to Riker Johnson's gilt there. So moms would be mates. There's really some similarity between this pair of gilts. To me, this one's probably just a little chunkier right now, I guess, in her body. Really stout again, though. They got an awesome kind of a pattern, a neat look out front, really heavy boned, really stout, but everything stays in line at the bottom side of their build. Hey, this is a real good pair of gilts from Hammocks, out of Littermate Sisters. One of them is a Flip Cup, the other's an Everyday Hustle. Good pair, neat kind of a pair of gilts there, 139, 140. Steel show pigs in next. A pair of Littermate Sisters, 228 and 229, be sired by Hang Tight. Dam would be a backdrop curtain call. And again, this particular boar and Hang Tight's done just an awesome job. Their mom has raised a sail-making gilt at Tulsa, sailmaker at Houston, and the Bad Habits boar purchased at the established standing at KP and Mays. So this particular pair I've seen across the aisle from us, I thought represented just a tremendous amount of good. 229 would be the more traditionally belted gilt, if you will. Obviously, they're a little bigger in terms of size, elegant about her look, awesome about her pattern. Looks like a great kind of a big one and a big green gilt, if you will. 228 would be the more predominantly black gilt, a little more moderate in terms of size, very big-legged, really neat out front. Looks like one that's got an awesome kind of a future. I think both of these gilts have, a time frame and a show window that can be fluctuated just a little bit on how you feed and manage them. I think this predominantly black gilt can show into the fall and be very, very competitive. Stout, heavy bone, really, really square coming and going. A good pair of littermates there from Steel, 228 and 229. Hang Tights out of the backdrop curtain call sow.
Mays and KP bring us another crossbred here. Relentless past the hat. This will be a mate to their male entry that we talked about earlier there. They got their coins together and bought a high-dollar Goss bred gilt here, and this is the result of that. I think these guys have been serious about raising very good spotted pigs, and like I said earlier, put together a good set of these crosses here of recent. And I think that this gilt here is one that's shapely, big-centered kind of a hog that's got the extras in terms of feature. Yet she's still one that I think extended enough and balanced enough that better days are ahead in terms of one that's just feedability is going to be awesome. And this 223 gilt, Relentless thing's been awfully good as well. I think a pig that offers feature, heaviness of structure. Check her out at the back of the barn there. I think a very high-quality gilt that Mays and KP brings us. Here, Jared's been waiting to showcase these spots here. As I said earlier, these guys have been as dominant as anybody in this particular breed. They brought us a pair of gilts. They're actually different litters. They got a 54 and a 55. The 226 gilt here, closest to the outside of the gate, is going to be the 54 litter. She's a big daddy. Speak up. That's going to be the gilt that's got a little wider shoulder right there going in front of the sail block. 54 litter spots are half sieves to the reserve spot bearer there at Denver in 25. This gilt here, I think, closest to us, the announcer's table. Look, design, body shape. I think a gilt that's got some extras in terms of muscle. Compositionally, she's the right frame size. I think once she gets everything together, you calm her down. I think that gilt's going to maintain shape and muscle and look, and a very square-made kind of a package. I think a unique kind of a spotted gilt there in that 226. Jarrett's got the 225 gilt. She's also a Big Daddy back on a mattress pad. 55, the 55 liter is a full sib to a big deal there, a premium blend. And then the class winner from Louisville, or class winner from Denver, mattress pad sow would be the $17,000 Livermore gilt they bought a few years ago. I think this gilt screams big ring presence because she's so flexible and loose made. She's within herself. A gilt that's tall fronted, got a little more length aside. In our experience, feeding those spots, that's a good thing because she's going to be a high-headed, level-built one. Comfort, squareness, design, that's the right type and kind if you want to get into the spotted gilt ring and be successful, because you're not going to worry about her pushing off either end of her skeleton. She's got presence, she's got bone, she's got feature. I think a really good kind of a spotted gilt. Good pair, proven firm. 225s heading out the gate first, 226, KP and Mays. Just one Florida hag, huh? Just one Florida hag here. 215's the tag. CK2, awesome group of guys there from Florida making the trip. I think our third year to have them here in tag 215. Sired by High Heat. The Moyers needs no introduction what the High Heats do. They are good baby pigs, but man, these hogs feed tremendously good. Long line never before is the Southside. Grandma raised the reserve champion at Texas National and Western Bonanza. Sal has raised multiple champions there in the state of Florida, jackpots or county or state level stuff. That's a really good kind of a high heat gilt that looks like one of them. She's got density. She's got the extras in terms of hair, presence, levelness, correctness. I think that gilt's going to feed in continuation. Not going to be a one that you're going to have to wait on. I think you could show her early, but more importantly, I think 300-plus pounds, she could hit her absolute peak as a big ring gilt. She's got enough stretch. She's got enough length of hip. That's tag 215. CK2 show pigs from Florida.
Next in is RNC with lot 166. 41-9 is this gilt's ear notch. Be a Dynasty Lester. This particular gilt would be a mate to the boar that they would have sold it established. And again, no hotter firm in the Tamworth business or the Chester business for that matter. The RNC crew has been on an absolute tear. And man, I thought their Tamworth gilt last year was incredibly memorable. This one looks very, very unique to me, just in terms of her look ahead of her blade, giant in terms of her bone, her feature, a beautiful kind of a look from the side. Great big in terms of her body cavity, square coming at you, square and true when she leaves you. Very, very unique, not only for this breed, but I'd say paint this one any color. Her quality is so good. Her stoutness is so neat. I think a gilt with a neat kind of a look and presence. I talked to the crew there just on endpoint, but man, I think she'd be hard to turn just about anywhere she shows up. Really stout, really powerful, really broad. Awesome kind of a Tamworth gilt there from the RNC crew. Sired by Dynasty out of a Leicester South. Aaron Family Show Stock is in next. 169 and 170. I saw this pair beginning of the week on Facebook and have been anxious to see what they look like when they got here. And we'll start with the blue gilt, 169. I thought she was out of the result of the bred purchase there, I think from the all-in bred gilt sale, I guess. And gilt will be sired by Ragweed out of a blow and smoke sow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this gilt's aunt would have raised Austin's all-access pigs. Is that? Yep. So obviously had a really good run there, and on the ant side. And then I know the Aaron family has been selling these at a high clip and a good rate. This blue gilt to me looks like what the really good ragweeds have looked like in terms of look, squareness, shape, and power. Really stout at the bottom side of her build. And man, I would say between this litter and Austin's litter, one of them's bound to hit a lick, and it'll never hurt in terms of resale value to add to arsenal. Quality there on the bottom side of the pedigree. Red gilt would be sired by Dedication. That would be the board that they would have sold premium blend there last summer at the summer type conference. Dan would be a Waymaker gilt, and she'd be a littermate to Halfman's Reserve Duroc gilt at St. Angelo. In this particular gilt, had a really successful career there in Texas. And I remember seeing some pictures and some Snapchats of that particular gilt, and then obviously Dedication as he would have grown older, and just looked like an awesome kind of a matchup on paper. This gilt's got a really neat look from the side. Awesome about her head. Kind of got that patented Waymaker look with a little more shape and just general dimension that sire brings to the table. Big in her arms, square in her chest. Beautiful about her back line. Has hair, has stoutness, and that awesome kind of a dark cherry color that you got to have to stand out in the big ring. I think a really good pair here from Kevin and crew, 169 and 170. Be a ragweed blowing smoke, a Dedication Waymaker. Good pair from the crew in Wisconsin.
Hey, was this the land race this year or last year? The full sib? This year. Okay. Didn't you win last year too? Yeah. That was a badass one, yeah. McGrew Show Pigs, new to the landrace game. No, just kidding. These guys have been in it as long as anybody, and they win as much as anybody. At the same time, they led the sale here at Sweethearts with landrace, and man, these guys put them together. They're sired by Wildcat. They've got a pair of mates they brought, 230 and 231. 231's the bigger gilt. 230 is going to be the smaller gilt right here. So litter mates, obviously. Wildcat Happy Hour. These are full sibs of the champion landrace bearer there at Perry last month, the pig that they sold at PT. Dam is a litter mate to the champion landrace gilt in 23 Kansas City. I'm sure they've got enough champions at their farm they get confused. The 231 gilt, the bigger gilt, I think one that she offers an awesome kind of shape and look and presence. I think that gilt makes a mature gilt the right type of kind of landrace. With that presence, that length of side and levelness, you're going to get 3/4 of them beat. I think an awesome kind of a gilt with great feet and legs. One I think you can push and make her ready a little bit earlier, just depending on your feeding. 230 heading to the outgates, the smaller of the pair. I think she reaches into the August setting if you need her to. She's another one that offers moderation and center body, levelness, correctness. Got that McGrew kind of just skeleton and shape and squareness. That's an awesome pair of landrace, different feeding windows, different patterns. 230 is a small one. 231 is the bigger one closest to me. McGrew. Vickery's going to be next. Karen's entry with their herdsman Brett here brought a litter mate, I think, to the Barra Pig there that they're going to sell tonight. Another one of these trust falls, hangman tricked out. Comes from the best litter that they've put together this year, and as Brett said, maybe arguably one of the more memorable litters they've had at the farm ever. This is the litter mate to the very popular Kingpins pig there a couple weeks ago, and I know that I talked to Brett quite a bit. He was really, really high on this gilt, and she's one that I think's the combination. Like I said, the Barra feedability is going to be good, but she's got a great presence in terms of length of neck and still being stout about her skull. Opens up with some shape and center body and dimension. That gilt's just a natural curvature up top is going to be awfully good. She's a square-legged kind of a pig that I think is going to feed awfully well. I think one that's got a very, very high ceiling there in lot 102. Trust Fall, Hangman, Vickery, Show Pigs.
Hey, we got Rodenbeck show stock in next. Lot 199, 5-6. Be sired by Sword. Dam would be a statement day, bury my bones. That sow would have been third Division III at the 2024 Indiana State Fair, and then would have been a mate to their $30,000 Sweetheart Skill that was reserve bred at the California Youth Expo. Grandma would be the Beck sow that's just done an incredible job. Raised the Myers gilt from last year, and a plethora of red gilts that have got along here in Indiana. And I'm not saying this because I raised them and the guy next to me houses them, but man, the swords have just been awesome. We had a great run with them. Travis would have beat the crosses with them there at Dixie and won the pig show a couple weeks ago. And this litter of pigs has been fun, at least from my perspective, to admire from a distance. And I know he sold a lot of them. Man, I can't imagine many of them are just as stout and just high quality is what this particular gilt is. It's a memorable kind of a pig that comes through the ring, really big in her chest, great big in her arm, stout in her feature, really, really good about her look. I'd say from experience, you get the sword stout enough boned. They've got the look, the balance, and just the feature in terms of look there to be very, very competitive. This one's got the extra feature, bone work and look from the side. I think an incredible kind of a gilt from Rodenbeck. He's just sold them in an incredibly good clip here at Sweethearts. Obviously the $30,000 one, I believe the Myers gilt would have been sold here maybe last year, and this one continues. Looks like she can continue the winning tradition for that crew in the red breed. 199, 5-6, sword, statement day, bury my bones. Here's the entries from the Jaworski crew, and man, been a program that's just incredibly fun to watch, and Nate does it at such a high level, and the pigs they raise have done so good, and they're so fun when we go up there for Walton's just to study, because man, they check a lot of boxes, they do it with so many extras, and I think that's really, really impressive. 153 would be the blue-eyed white gilt. She'd be a sleek tight, buckle up. Again, this one looks like she's got a long kind of a shelf life, in my opinion, and from the right up, it looks like Nate agrees, and man, she's stout, really, really dense, got a great kind of a just hair coat working on her. I know when we were up there, we talked, they've been at a real good clip in that market gilt division there at MLE. This one looks like a blue that can run with the darks in that particular division, yet at the same time, I think she's incredibly memorable about just her facial features, her stoutness, and her power. I think a real good kind of a gilt there, and that sleep tight sired pig in 153. 154 would be a Clarity, Who Am I? And this one's mine would be a first litter gilt that did just awesome in the crate. And the Who Am I boar was one that they would have raised. It was a tricked out Stay Classy that they would have had for a few years. So that goes back to the really good Stay Classy sows they had. I know they got along really good with the tricked out stuff, and looks like those Who Am I sows are going to generate and do a good job. Man, this 154 just looks bulletproof in her skeleton, really unique about her look, awesome about her body cavity. And you take her to the bottom side of her build, and she still comes with extras in terms of stoutness, power, and feature. Looks like she's going to have some grow, too. And again, that's still a thing that's of importance. Looks like she can be a big gilt in the end and be very, very competitive in that last division in the Midwest State Fair. 153 and 154, a blue-eyed white one, and a belted gilt from Jaworski Show Pigs.
Riggs and Thurston comes in, and a firm that hates the blues. That Riggs, you listening? You still hate them blues? No. Riggs always brings the blues, the Sweethearts, and a few years ago sold the Reserve Grand Guild out of this ring at the State Fair, and always saves the real good ones for this sale. He's got a pair of mate 17 litters sired by Blue Stripes, and that's the boar at Danner's that you raised, right? That Riggs raised. And mom's a wide awake, tricked out, never before. So goes back to actually that same sow line that Rotobal's Blue Gilt Reserve at Indy a few years ago. So these heavy blues, I think, are awfully good. Mom of the 17s are class winner at Indy, and grandma's a littermate to Blue Stripes mom. So lined up pedigree. Kyle here closest to me, the older gentleman, has what tag? 201, and then Carter's got the 202 gilt. We'll start with Kyle's gilt over there. That's an immature one that's very, very heavy duty in terms of just usefulness out of her hind legs. Good. She levels up good. She's a neat-headed one that still opens up with structure and bone work. She's a little raller in her body, and I think that's a good thing because that one, as a mature, fat one, I think could be an awesome-looking one that has a great shape, great levelness, and a big, big hind leg. That's 201. Carter's gilt, it's 202, the darker of the blues here. Another one that's maybe got a little more advantage in terms of body shape, but also has enough stretch. She's big, she's comfortable in her front foot. She's got a big arm working in her. I think another one that you just stretch her and progress her as a big one. I think this pair is awfully, awfully good. Riggs brings the good ones to this particular sale. He brought a pair of heavy bone, good feeding blue ones here. 201, Kyle's got 202 is going out the ring right there. Riggs and Thurston. True's Poland Farm is going to be next here. That Dane's bringing us a Poland. I thought maybe Thwaites would get out here with the boots on to drive them, but 195 is going to be the Poland's tag number. This is a front runner on a head start coming in hot. These guys have got some of these Polands and had a lot of success with them. They've got some unique looking one here. This little Poland gilt, mom's a full sib to the champion Poland Bear at the Royal there, reserve Poland Bear at Royal as well. So a neat pedigree. This gilt, looking at her, I mean, she's a heavy structure one that offers some moderation. Center body's good. For that stoutness ahead, she's still got some head, some extension in front of her blade. She's huge arms. She's got the extras in terms of density and hair. With that said, she's going to be a dark-hided one, which is always an advantage in that particular breed. I think a unique opportunity. True doesn't run many of these Polands, but the ones they do have had a lot of success. She's tagged 195, True Genetics. I think it's Bobble is coming in next there. Tag 219 brought us an all access. All access is the board there at Moyers. It's done a tremendous job here in his second crop and second season. 17-4 Judgment Day proposals. The South Side, the 80s were very popular last week there at Ben's sale at his house. Mom's a mate to testify, and mother is the 5th overall. That Hampshire pig there at OYE last year. So Boble brings one, always known for structure and power. She's got that, but with that said, I think that gilt's got the feedability kind of a look in terms of length off both ends of her skeleton. She opens up good in her body shape. It's got that Boble shape and muscularity up top, and a very sound, mobile kind of a package. I think a gilt that's she looks good now, but more importantly, I think she projects and feeds as a very, very stout big one there. Tag 219, Boble Farms brought another good one here to Sweethearts.
Tres Amigos coming in next, 48-5, lot 176. It's time. Buckle up. Quite frankly, Timber, lots to talk about on this gilt. Mom be a mate to hang tight, and the 4th overall cross gilt at Expo. She would have raised a popular $30,000 gilt of the League of Their Own, and her litter mate would be the mother, a hold release gilt that had just a dominant run there from Louisville to Perry and just about everywhere in between. And Brody's driving this gilt, and man, if I was driving one of this quality, I'd maybe perk up, have a little more of a smiling look on my face, and just strike you as a little happier, because this is a really good pig and has just a patented trace build. And man, they've been running these cross gilts at a hot lick, and they've been so good. This one's elevation or quality from the side is just awesome. Square back, long and level out of her hip. Really has a memorable kind of a color pattern, I think, here on her show side, if you will. Square when she leaves you, really neat at the bottom side of her build, and just ability to stay together and offer the right kind of build and balance. I think a good pig in lot 176, sired by its time. The real good boar there at Winners, and has had a real good kind of a run. I think this particular gilt has a bright future. Chad Martin Show Pigs would be in next. And again, this is lot 243, 82-8, being OSHA sired gilt out of a hot take 47-3. And I know Chad's been there on the end. And I saw this gilt with her head in the feeder earlier this morning. And man, I thought she represented a lot of good and a lot of quality in terms of stoutness, spread, and power, and just density. I thought was very, very good. And she's unique just in here in terms of her pedigree. Obviously one that can go in the light crossbred division, but also has the ability to show in the purebred influence division there at Expo, NJSS, along with the jackpot circuits here in Indiana and Illinois. Her mother is the mother of the Hosschulde Bear that was granted Miami, Oklahoma County, and then went on to win the purebred influence crossbred division at the Southwest Regional in Oklahoma City last year. And again, we talked about this gilt's stoutness and her power. Obviously, maybe just a shot bigger than some in the offering, but man, as a buyer, I think that takes so much of the guesswork out of things. Her look, her presence, her stoutness is so good. Big and broad in her chest, good when she leaves you. And then obviously her size and just her structure has stayed together so well. It's kind of outgrown that cute stage and offers a really just powerful kind of a look. I think a neat kind of a purebred influence, our light cross division here that Chad brings us, an OSHA sired gilt out of a purebred Yorkshire Sow. Shane is in next. Viger Show Pigs with lot 208, 4-7 is this gilt's ear notch. Be sired by Rafiki, the white boar there at Gold Rush. Dan would be a game ball sow, and last year this gilt's mother would have raised the third overall light cross there at NJSS, and then that gilt would have been reserve grand at the Kentucky State Fair. And man, I don't know if there's many folks that are hotter right now than what Shane is, just in terms of generating just awesome pigs and winning at such a high clip. In this particular blue pin gilt is easy to see why. Awesome about her look, heavy about her bone and just her structure, great big in her body. I think her back line and just the way she draws from the top of her head into her blade and on back into the base of her hip is so impressive. That's a neat pig and really stout. Looks like she's got a broad show window, but man, just shows a lot of resemblance of a baby pig is what that gilt that was so popular last year did. 4-7 would be her ear notch. She's lot 208 via Rafiki game ball from Shane Viger there at Viger Show Pigs.
Robin Ridge, Mike brings us a pair of pures, and Mike's always got the good ones here that he takes this very seriously, being in this, and had a lot of success for a long time. The Hampshire that Mike's got is a Mach 1 on a conviction. I think that this one here, Mach 1, was going to be that Goss boar that Brent bought there at Summer Type last year. That I think Grinstead raised. Reserve champion gilt at the Midwestern is the mom of this, the Kilmer gilt. That's a Hampshire gilt that I think's got the look and design. She's big enough in her type and kinds to make a mature gilt. I think a gilt that offers center body and dimension there in the tag 118 Hampshire gilt. 119 there that Riley's brother Landry's got has got a Berkshire gilt that I think's got a nice kind of a presence in terms of her look up front. She's one that offers some muscle shape there. Maybe didn't feel quite as good today, but man, I think that gilt's got enough length aside to make some progression. She's got a big arm in her. I think a hog that offers some stoutness. She's an above all dig deep, and I think the all ends have above alls have fed extremely good. The dam as goes back to that Rotoball sow, that dig deep daughter that's been a real good generator all the way through. So this is Robin Ridge. 119 is going to be the Berkshire. 118 is going to be the Hampshire. Hey guys, how we doing? All right. Watson's. Oh, got a Hamp and a Crass. Which one's what? Just kidding. All right, Watson, Hampshires, and crossbreds are going to be in next. Mike Watson has been in here a long time in terms of raising pigs. and I think obviously has always had the Hampshires. 145 is going to be the Hampshire there that Harper's got, and that gilt there is one that's got that Watson look from the side, a little more extended, a gilt that's real feminine looking on the side, going to stay correct in terms of her pastern set, and I think a gilt obviously a little bit rawer. Anybody that's fed Hampshires, sometimes they'll go through stages, but that gilt's got a nice presence on the side. She levels up good. She's going to have some true muscle shape. Can make that big ring at 350 pounds, be an awfully good kind of a mature gilt. She's sired by 4/3 back on a Crazy Times. Her mother is a very, very big-footed sow, so everybody knows that feed Hampshire, sometimes they progress, but if Mike says that, I'm guessing that gilt's going to come with plenty of structure. I think a gilt that's going to stay square at the same time. That's the 146, the 145. That'd be the Hampshire gilt there that Harper's got. Brody's got the crossbred gilt, and that one's going to be 146. She's a 14 litter. She comes from a great litter that they're offering some other pigs on the other side of the wall as well. Sired by Stinger there at Beck's, back on a witness sow. This gilt here, I think, offers some shape. Very, very correct on both ends of her skeleton. I think one that's going to feed and just progress awfully good. She's got the extras in terms of shape, center body, and got a good look. This is Watson's, the Hampshire gilt 146, or the cross gilt 146, Hampshire gilt 145.
Next in is Thompson Brothers Genetics with lots 122 and 123. Brody is on 123. That is the Duroc gilt. Be 160-7. Sired by Shabuzi, the Heimer boar from the draft last year, and dam would be a fat toe sow. This particular gilt has no statement day in her pedigree, which again I think is intriguing from a breeding standpoint. But then study the pig. She's so stout just in terms of her foot and her feature, her spread, her arm, and her power is so good. Opened up in terms of her body cavity. I think her structure and just her quality of build is very, very impressive. 122 would be the Yorkshire gilt. Be 153-9, sired by Dream On. Validate would be the mother. She has the same dam as the 92-litter boar there that they have at the cows that they're calling Monster. And again, the Thompson and the T-Bro Yorkshire thing has been so good for such a long time. And man, this 122 embodies so many of the reasons why. Awesome about her build, so ladylike just in the lower part of her skeleton. Gilt's got stoutness. She's got shape to her arm, strength to her front foot, and a really collective just range of motion down low. Again, I think really unique for the breed, really stout, really good looking. Looks like a pair of gilts that are awesome about their build, their structure, and their look. Can show for a while, get them going there. 122 and 123 from Thompson Brothers Genetics, a Dream On Yorkshire, a Shabuzi Duroc. Strieber Genetics is in next here with lot number 175. 44-2 is this gilt's notch. Be a worldwide. Money moves next. Mother is the champion Division I commercial gilt at San Antonio in 2025. And then she'd be a litter mate there to the Grand Bear at Houston in 2025 that the Martinez screw would have shown. That pig was incredibly memorable. And again, this particular gilt looks so much like him in terms of her look out front, her squareness of back, her stoutness of feature. Really, really neat. And just in terms of her look, her shape to her arm, still square in her chest, broad in her knee, got an awesome kind of a structure laid in her. This 175, lot 175 worldwide gilt from Strieber, to me looks like a sale highlight in terms of look, pattern, and freshness. Has the right kind of stoutness down low. I think an awesome kind of a gilt. Early in her life, can make a great kind of a big one on down the road. Worldwide, money moves next from Strieber Genetics.
Whittington's up next, and got a Berkshire and a crossbred here, and these guys have been on a tear, multiple different breeds. We'll start with the Berkshires, and this gilt here has an incredible good presence. 185 is her tag. She's a to the moon, top it off. Sal was third overall there at Coba, there in 25. And first parity mating lines up the pedigree really, really tight. There's a lot of winners back in this pedigree, and I think I've got to judge a couple of them there that they've got a very unique kind of a presence in terms of head and neck and levelness, and I think this gilt does that, and she's still very uniform in terms of her skeletal comfort. She's a gilt that's got enough kind of just chest width coming at you, but she's got an awesome presence on the side. I think one that's going to have heaviness of structure, unique kind of a gilt there in that Berkshire gilt, lot 185 from Whittington. 186 is the cross. She's an outraged, surrounded, rightfully so. Sal's a littermate to the Georgia National Reserve Grand Market gilt there. Dam of the 33s they bought from Hofschulde. And then Kendall's daughter showed her. That's a good-looking gilt. It's awesome in terms of her presence, her head and neck, her arms big. She levels up good, right kind of proportions, and I think one that offers heaviness of structure at the same time. I think a really unique kind of a gilt. They brought a really good pair from Oklahoma. Cross gilt's going to be 186, Berkshire gilt 185. Sherritt brought us a couple pigs here, and we're going to start with the 163 purebred Hampshire gilt there. She's an only child back on that smoke signal sow. This would be a Savage gilt. The mom would be one they bought here at Sweethearts last year. Bred her to only child, and last summer they were given the opportunity to purchase half of a son there from Todd and Donnie, named only child. They got to use this one and made this gilt a center body, dimension, shape, and muscularity. Unique kind of a gilt that offers a little more moderation and power there. Big chested kind of a gilt there from Sherritt that offers some value in terms of just raw muscle and power, but still that much shape and center body's a really good combination. Got a strong sow line there with Savage on both sides. 163 is Sherritt's first entry that they brought us. Their other Hampshire gilt that we're going to drop in there from Sherritt is 164. This is a bred gilt purchase that Sherritt's made from Savage. There, Todd's got a little something fill in here. I know that they bought this gilt for $12.5 there out of the collector's edition.
Yeah, Trav. The mother of this gilt here. This was our collector's edition consignment there this year is a sow we call Crystal, and what Crystal is honestly is one we should have never sold, and I know that's easy to say, but she was the mother of our champion Barra there at OIE this last time, and Shillings Sheese there actually judged that pig that won, and I tell you what, the pigs out of that sow has been really, really good, and we've kept a lot of daughters. The key thing is to that sow is that's an ice daughter. And Brent's standing here next to me, and we talked a lot of times about the value of those ice females, and there's not a whole hell of a lot of those left. And this one here, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know anything about what any of you think about what she looks like or anything else, but I'm going to tell you she has one heck of a mother. The biggest thing that I'm going to tell you about is all you people want hairy bear daughters, and I'm pretty stingy with them, and Donnie don't want to sell them. Here's your opportunity right here, because she's sired by hairy bear, and I'm going to tell you she's got a remarkable, remarkable mother. I have no idea. Don't know if she'll ever win a pig show. I don't have any idea about any of that kind of stuff, but I'll tell you her resale value and her value as a Hampshire female is high, high ceiling.
So that's 164 right there. Sherritt Family Farms. Todd explained it there. Not many people get to have those hairy bears there. We're going to get into Rosebird Show Pigs.
.247 here from Rosebird is 32-2. Be a slow hand, wide awake, light crossbred gilt. And again, they talked about just the quality of the females there at Rosebird, in the male side of things. And, man, they've been on a tear here lately. And this particular gilt just represents, in my opinion, so much good and some stuff that's hard to do in the blue division in terms of hard shape and stoutness. She's got a real tough kind of a forehead on her. Big kind of a hip, really stout down low. I like those things about her. Opened up in her chest, big in her arms, square coming and going. Awesome about her structure. The mom of this gilt is a full sister to the mother of their reserve PT gilt from last year. And again, had great reports back on that one. I'd say this particular gilt looks like an awesome kind of a show gilt, but one you could kind of build a sow herd around, build a sow base around, and be very, very competitive for a long, long time. That's 247, a slow hand wide awake from Rosebird Show Pigs. Rosebird's lot 248 is in next. This is 21-8, a heat index, quite frankly gilt. And this particular gilt stems back from a bred that they would have purchased from Sloan and a sow that's just done an awesome job for them. She is the dam of the power play gilt that was a class winner at Expo, won multiple jackpots in Ohio, and then was third overall at Pale in Pennsylvania. Again, a lot of proven ability on both sides of the pedigree here. And man, the heat index thing has been good. And this one looks like so many of the really good ones did, just in terms of her upper line, where her tail sits on her hip, where her head slings up in relation to the base of her pins there. Stout, square, really genuine. I know Ogle touched on it on the board, but man, these things rear view, leaving you to have that kind of stoutness up high, that kind of spread from stifle to stifle, yet say so collective, so square, and so good from behind, I think is really, really impressive. This is 248, the second piece of a really good pair from Rosebird Show Pigs, a heat index, quite frankly. Hawk and McCarty would be in next with lot 167. 13-8 is this gilt's ear notch, be a mainline blackjack and be a result of a bred purchase there from Goss Livestock. And again, the mainline thing, Travis touched on it, has been very, very good. And obviously the first reports of those pigs coming back have been impressive. And man, you just look at that horse picture, you look at the pigs that have won, and this gilt looks like she fits in so well with that group of them. Man, an awesome kind of a head shape, just a beautiful look out front. Looks like a great kind of a breeding gilt just in terms of her composition, her body cavity, her length of hip. I think looks like an awesome big one in my opinion, and one you can get big, get her chunky at the end there of the summer, and she laps them in structure, look, freshness, and presence. I think a really neat kind of a pig that the Hawk and McCarty crew bring. Lot 167, be a mainline blackjack out of a bred from Goss. Klein Swine is in next, and no strangers to success in the Chester breed. And this gilt would be a Pitmaster, perfect game, first take. And I got to meet Cooper there at Expo last year, or at OIE, I guess, the Oklahoma Youth Expo, when I was judging. And man, what an awesome guy. And we got to talk pigs, and they're doing such a good job. Again, this particular gilt would be a first litter out of the infamous Ferry gilt from last spring. Be a litter mate to Influence, and was a 12-time champion of reserve and a two-time Supreme or Reserve Supreme overall there at Western Bonanza and the Revival. I think a neat opportunity in this gilt, and man, we talk stoutness in the Chester breed, and this one embodies it to me. That is a really broad forehead. That gilt's ocular width, the shape to her arm, her toughness is so good. big and broad in her back, stout from behind, got a stout kind of a rear leg. I could see this one just fleshing up as a big one, being incredibly stout, really powerful with a giant kind of a rear leg there. I think a neat kind of a pig. Looks like it just has the extras to be very, very competitive from the Klein crew. That's a Pitmaster perfect game first take.
John's one of my favorite human beings ever.
Hey, goat breeder.
Yep.
He's got a goat.
Got a good one.
Good goat for tomorrow night. 2 goats. Hopefully 2 less after tomorrow night.
Beatty Genetics goat breeding machine here brings us a Yorkshire, and as we talked earlier in the male sale, we've got 3 Yorkshire males from 3 different firms and all Beatty influenced. They brought us a gilt here, the 46 litter, sired by Hard Truth, back on a 4-play. A gilt that's Dam is a half sister to the $72,000 world record grand gilt there a few years ago at Louisville. And also happens to be the mother of the Hirschfield gilt that got along extremely well. That was champion there, Yorkshire at Nebraska, Reserve Yorkshire at Kansas City. And this Yorkshire gilt is built a lot like Kyle in terms of just stoutness and hair. I think a gilt that's big enough in her type and kind. She's extended enough, and I'll give him this. I think this gilt maybe isn't just as filled up and taking the trip as good, because I think everything reads so good in terms of her shape, her look, her squareness, and with that kind of root and tail, that one there is going to be extremely dense, extremely stout, that's going to have good feet and legs. I'd say that that lot 182 gilt, Yorkshire-wise, is going to be one that can be heard from. That's Beatty Genetics 182 Yorkshire. He brought us another one that's going to be the Light Cross, and sired by Diamond Dog, back on a tricked out. And this Light Cross gilt is what he put, big boned and hairy, and she is that, a gilt that's sired, like I said, by Diamond Dog on a tricked out. A gilt that offers center body and dimension. Stoutness ahead is extremely, extremely impressive. She's a big arm gilt that everything reads just genuine in terms of just width and squareness, starting as she comes at you and she leaves. She's a square-legged one that looks like an easy keeper in terms of just natural flesh and body. Going to be a good kind of a show gilt. She reads like a sow, and I think one that could make a really big impact in the blue division and how popular the blues are. So they're going to have some resale value or sow potential on down the way. 183, Beatty Genetics, Light Cross gilt. Ottenwater Show Pigs made it out from California. As I said in the mail preview, they brought us a pair of those. Haven't been here maybe in the last, I think, 6 years. But when the first Sweetheart started there, I know that they were one of the few that were in the event, and it's good to have them back. We're going to start with this pair of crosses. Dustin's got the 191 gilt there that's going to be on the far side. This is a promotion. Back on a junior 76.6 gilt. That gilt there is, like I said, 191 closest to me. Got the shape, a heavy structured kind of a gilt. I've talked this before in the preview in terms of market or breeding value. I know there's some market gilt buyers still out there, and that gilt there's got enough shape to suit that. She's stout about her head. She's got good muscularity and power there. That's 191, the closest one to me. Rusty over there, Russell's got the gilt that gives you a really good look on the side. She looks like one that's she looks the part now, but I think projecting her as a big ring gilt, man, I think that one could be awfully good. She's sired by Stay Strapped on a foresight gilt. I know that he's extremely excited as we visited yesterday there. About this particular hog, and rightfully so. Heavy bone, square made, loose made, comes at you and leaves you with the right amount of width with a very, very high ceiling and future. I think this gilt is one a special one there. 191. They made the trip from California with 4 very, very good pigs. I got 2 males selling tonight, 2 gilts that'll be up there in the sale order. 192 is going out the ring now. 191 is a smaller one.
Yeah, before they walk out of here, I know I've spent a lot of time in California here recently, and I know Mark's tuned in online. Mark's had some health problems here in the last couple of months, and just kind of want to give a shout out to him and let everybody know that we're thinking about him and as he continues to get better.
For sure. I know Mark's probably tuned in from the start, watching it, a big supporter of the industry and Kennedy's and everything that goes on. Next in is going to be Danner Livestock. We got Biscuit on the whip. He's ready to rock. Just brought us one, the Duroc here. This is tag 220. She's an All-American rock and a Dos Equis. Dan would have been one that's shown by Whitaker's there 2 summers ago that they like quite a bit. She's known to littermate Throwing Stones is actually the mom of this, and a full sib to TS2 there. So her dam would have been 3rd overall Perry. And always ones that they rely on and do a very good job in the crate. Maybe for this breed, that's something that's needed. And Danners have always have reds. I know coming off the champion Red Bear there at Fort Worth. This one here comes out and reads with stoutness of just their forehead, still with a unique kind of a look on the side. Proportions are good. Center body's awfully good. And I think that gilt, show gilt, resale value, sale value, regardless. I think a very, very good one there that Sue and Biscuit, and I guess we'll give your dad a little credit too. They're putting together, but a great firm that's been in it a long time. Brought us a really, really good red gilt. That is tag 220, Danner Livestock.
Crestview is in next. The pair of them, 317 and 318. Brett would be on 318 there. The louder marked yield be a Berkshire 40-2 loose strings. I guess both of them would be litter mates here. So loose strings would be the sire. Dan would be a special effect gladiator. Grandma was the champion Berkshire Gilt at the 2022 Illinois State Fair, and the mom is the mate to the champion Burt Gilt at Illinois in 23. That raised the champion reserve and 5th overall Barras at 2025 Illinois State Fair. Also raised the champion gilts in the junior and open shows. The champion Burke Barra at the 2025 Ohio State Fair. So pedigree obviously the same for both of them. Brett would be there, like we said, on 318. The louder marked one, Bryce is on 317. Again, nobody I think has probably dominated a breed at their state fair like Crestview has the Berkshires here the past couple years. And man, they've been good. I think they're harder just to tug away from that state, but obviously quality is so unique, and I think this pair of gilts are a great resemblance why. This louder marked one, really stout, extra broad, very, very square at the bottom side of her build there, has bone and feature and stoutness to her. I think those things are very, very good. Broad-backed and big pin. This gilt that Bryce is on is just awesome in terms of her look, ahead of her blade, incredible about her head shape, got a big front foot, a stout paw, a comfortable kind of a rear skeleton. Man, I think state fair time comes around, that gilt's very, very hard to turn. That's a really good pair of Berkshires from Crestview there. Littermate gilts sired by loose strings. Dan would be a special effect gladiator. Next in is Byers Farms, lot 2 twin, 64-7, a Duroc yield, a bank on it, set to curve. Mother here produced Bridge the Gap at Southern Gold and the 3rd overall Duroc Barra to 2024 Illinois State Fair Junior Show, exhibited by Ashley Weiglin, and the champion Duroc yield to 2025 NJSA Winter National, shown by Michaela Spray. And we just got done talking about how nobody's been more dominant at their state breed show than what Crestview's been in the Berkshires. Man, I don't know if there's been anybody more dominant for as long of a period of time as what the Byers crew has been, and they just make them so good and so unique. And again, I was interested after I saw the pedigree online of this particular gill to see her in person because, man, I thought the bank on it's have been good, and Brett's stuff has always been so impressive. And again, just looks like the best of both worlds to me in terms of look out front from mom's side of the pedigree, square coming at you, big in her rib, extra stoutness there from the top side, and density at the bottom side of her build. I'd say this gilt looks like a big-time Midwest State Fair player. Looks awesome there and got the right kind of look and balance to be very, very competitive. That's lot 210 from Byers Farms. A bank on it, set to curve. Hamby's in next with a mate to his neat kind of a Barra prospect there in the Midwest Males. And this is lot 104, gilt sired by Unrivaled, who's had just a fantastic run in his first crop. Dan would be a next intention, never before. She'd be a mate to that really good Barra that Hamby would have raised that was champion Dark Cross at San Antonio a few years ago, and then raises the Barra that wins the points there on the Mid-Atlantic Circuit in 2024. And a lot like the male, man, I think this gilt's indicators of stoutness are very, very good. Head shape, arm, and feature is awesome. Really big and broad in her back, really stout from behind. Man, maybe didn't look like she just filled up from the trip, but she's got the right kind of roll to her rib cage. She's green and immature where she needs to be. She's stout and dimensional. I think a neat kind of a piece, awesome kind of a show gilt. More importantly, that particular female looks like a generator and a sow that can be very, very competitive on down the road. Hey, that's lot 104 from Hanby. Unrivaled, next, never before. Awesome kind of a pedigree, really good gilt.
I was hoping that Doug would be out here to get this one drove, but Stuart Durock Farm from Iowa. I'm not sure where Doug's at, but good to have him here, and excited that he brought us an awfully good gilt here. She is sired by Waymaker 11-3. That's at this guy beside me's place here. That's done a good job. These pigs that we got to see, and Doug's always been a real true hog breeder. Some of the very, very good ones have been bred there in Iowa. And then this mother is a pick 2. He said late last summer, Dylan Sheese posted a video, Waymaker's son. He used him, intrigued, and man, he did a good thing here. She's the mother of a herd boar Sodbuster and Reserve Durock and 5th over there at Iowa State Fair. I think that he really, really likes this gilt, and I like this gilt quite a bit. She's a real world hog that's stout, she's square, she's level, a heavy bone kind of a pig that's, that offers the right kind of comfort, and more importantly, that gilt gives continuation to get better is going to be awfully good. She offers some shape, center body. She's got that density that Stewart's always known for. I think a unique kind of a piece here, show gilt, breeding piece. I think a very, very good one there that Doug brought. Lot 120, Stuart Durock Farm, Durock gilt here. Far Stock Farm, I think, Taylor, you're just opening gates now? Yep. Sure. Tom's boy brought a pair of spots here that 143 and 144. They're going to be 2 different litters there. What's closest to me? The darker gilt there that Riley's got in the striped shirts, 144. She's 143, I'm sorry, sired by Underdog, back on a Frank, on a Today's World. Underdog is the boar that Pink Genetics bought, that they bought there, and the 143 gilt there towards the outgate is one that offers some moderation in center body, good centered kind of a gilt that's still shapely, and these guys have raced spots for a long time and been competitive. She offers a neat kind of proportions in terms of the length of frame ratio, and still one that I think is going to feed into a good kind of a heavyweight, heavy structured. More importantly, she's square as she turns away from her hock to the ground. 144 that Hallie's got there on the far side, the more traditionally spotted up white hip one there. She's a downshift back on a Frank Momentum. This is Tommy's pick, Taylor says. So Tommy might be tuning in there, and a terribly, terribly good hog there. 144 is like I said, the downshift, a gilt that you like the design, the build, a little longer-sided kind of a gilt, tremendously good in terms of her extension up front, and she's a hog that's going to be able to get to those heavier weights as a big ring gilt, offers some length to side, squareness, and just comfort. So good pair of spot gilts from Far Stock Farm, been in the business a long time. 143 is the darker gilt, 144 is the more traditionally spotted one.
CSS Hampshire's in next, and a crew that's no stranger to success in the Hampshire business. And it looks like after selling last week, had a good run there with their crosses. And I guess Cody got himself some new pants there. I saw on Facebook. These pigs here look really good in terms of quality. A pair of mate gilts, and I'd have heard about these when he was up at the house. They'd be Renegade. Watch this, Facts. Mom would be the third overall Hampshire gilt there to 2024 Arizona National. And again, this pair of gilts look like litter mates, but man, they look like they offer some differences, I think, too, that are very, very good and very, very unique. This 159 is the thinner belted gilt that Cody would be on, and a little bigger, obviously, just in terms of size and pounds. But man, body shape is good, stoutness of feature and bone work is awesome. Looks square, looks three-dimensional, coming and going. Awesome about her structure. That looks like an awesome kind of a big ring Hampshire gilt. You can have it at a heavier weight and maybe just a little quicker endpoint than some others. 158 would be the wider belted gilt. I think that one's really unique, just about her look, her presence, her attractiveness out front. Got a great kind of a sweep to her belly line, a really bold body cavity, big and square in her hip, stout down low. I think a real good pair there from CSS Hampshire's, pair of mates to be sired by Renegade out of a Watch This Facts. Keplinger in next, lot 302, 101-4. This gilt would be a Logic wake-up call. Baby Girl Dam would be the Grand Gilt there from last year, I believe, at the exposition. And Grand Dam there would be the Baby Girl Salad. It's done an awesome job. Mates bring 32,000 and 38,000. And man, I remember when they had loaded that Logic gilt there at Breeders' Cup, and that one was so unique. And to me, this one just looks like that gilt grown up and a little bigger in terms of size, because look out front is awesome. Dead level down her back line, got a great big tail sitting high on the top side of her hip there. Keplinger's been just cutting a swath, and the Baron gilt shows alike. And when they're built like this with that kind of presence, that kind of look, that kind of balance, while still having feature, stoutness, and genuine horsepower to them, it's easy to see why. The Logic thing's been good. He bought back in there and utilized him heavily, and man, they've been really, really nice online. This particular gilt has all the extras, I think, to be competitive on down the road. That's lot 302, a Logic wake-up call. Mom would be the Grand at Expo from Keplinger Farms. Schillinger Farms is in next with lot 111. This gilt would be 9-6, a Dynasty 92-2 hardwood. Again, Mom is the litter mate here to their Expo champion, reserve at NJSS, and reserve at the Indiana State Fair. I think I've talked maybe the only two TAM gilts in the lineup, and they're incredibly good, very, very quality. These things are stout, they're broad, they're three-dimensional. This 111 gilt to me is tough down low, is stout about her head as you could make one, big in her back line, stout from behind, really genuine at the bottom side of her build. And then at the same time, I think that gilt's color, her breed character is just awesome. For one, if you're going to continue on and make a splash in that breed from a breeding perspective. The 92-2 thing has been lights out. This 111 gilt looks like a great kind of a jackpotting pig, an awesome kind of a big one, a stout, broad, burly kind of a Tamworth gilt from a firm that's been dominant in that breed. 111 is her lot. Dynasty 92-2 would be her sire.
Next in is going to be Chad Day Show Pigs and JP Enterprises. A little upset that JP's not getting on the stick here. I figured he'd be down here bearing down, but he's over there creeping around, watching them there. But they brought us a really good male boar prospect there that's going to sell tonight. And this is a littermate gilt. They teamed up and bought that Beatty gilt. It was grand overall, the $72,000 Yorkshire gilt there 2 summers ago. And this is the second gilt that they're going to sell out of this gilt. They sold the exchange gilt, the first one. They're going to sell the first male there tonight, and then this gilt here. So no hesitation. Country Bone would be out of that $72,000 gilt. That tag 109. Loose, square, heavy structured. She reads with that stoutness in her head, and I think the right kind of proportions in terms of a Yorkshire gilt that's got the right squareness underneath, the right kind of hip shape. I'd say everything's going to feed tremendously good. She looks good now. She's not a quick bunchy one. She's not a big tall one. I think everything matches. Stout, square, heavy structured, level, center body. I'd say a great opportunity for a show gilt, great opportunity for a breeding piece or resale value. Lot 109, Chad Day Show Pigs, JP Enterprises, Yorkshire gilt. Chad Day and JP brought a crossbred here. They've got a money in hand. Here I am. This sow came from Fontenot that they purchased out of this sale there, I think a year or two ago. She's raised the reserve heavy Hamp Bear at San Antonio last year. Second place gilt there at Perry this year. I remember we all traveled together. They've got just stoutness wrote all over them from that Fontenot deal. And this gilt here, we've had a lot of good gilts come through the ring, but in terms of just heaviness of structure and density, she's one that's right there towards the top. She's got a big hind leg, but a useful hind leg, levels up good, great shape and muscularity. Her arm is absolutely massive, and she's got a unique kind of a head working in her. This 110 gilt, I think, is one that needs to be on the short list regardless. If you're looking for a show gilt breeding piece, she's offers so much good in terms of density and stoutness. Chad Day Show Pigs, JP Enterprises, tag 110.
Savage Genetics here, I think, wraps up our consigners. And again, a pair of them, a Landrace and a Duroc gilt. We'll start with the red one, 310, be 59-8, and All They Want out of a Crybaby sow. And again, the All They Want thing, the Bedeker boar there that has been so good here on his first crop. And again, you get to line up that Crybaby side on the bottom side of the boar, and the sow's pedigree, I think, is awesome. And man, I think this gilt is really stout, really broad and extra three-dimensional. Man, her feature, her head shape is so good. You think back to just how memorable the boar was in the preview earlier. This gilt resembles a lot of the same qualities to me in terms of head shape, just natural power and extra stoutness. Man, I think you get to that Indy NJSS time frame. You get a little later into the summer even. It's a big, mature one. That gilt is so good and so impressive in a lot of areas. That's 310, the All They Want sired gilt. They're from Savage. The Landrace is next, 313, and man, I'd have seen this one on Snapchat, and a memorable kind of a pig, and I know they had one, I think that was last fall, that was so good, and this gilt be sired by Can't See Me. Dam would be 22-8. The track record sow comes from an awesome litter. Mate sold for $5,500 at the get together, and mother is the Schulte sow that cleaned house there in the Iowa Point circuit for the Stein family. Can't See Me's had a great run. The Landrace have been good. Man, I'd say some of the guesswork's done in this gilt in terms of just size, but her look and just her quality out front is so impressive. She's got hard shape for a cruiser, big in terms of her hip, stout in terms of her bone work, awesome about her skeleton down low. I'd say this pair of purebred gilts in 310 and 313 from Savage offer all the extras you can want. Man, that Landrace looks like she'd be tough to turn this summer. A really good pair there. Can't See Me and an All They Want from the Savage crew.
Here are our final two that we're going to talk. And reminder, after the preview here, I think Winning Traditions are going to preview their pigs over there in the aisle. So feel free to run over there after we're done here. And this is our final lot from Savage, and nobody hotter in the Hampshire game at all levels than these guys. And these gilts here are going to sell as a choice lot when they go into the ring. You're going to pick your choice, and then they're going to re-rack and sell the other one. And good luck picking which one that's going to be the first choice. And as I said, not because Todd puts on the sale, these guys have put together Barras and gilts in this breed. They're as dominant as anything at all different levels. Won the Hampshires at San Antonio yesterday, and just very, very competitive regardless where they go. Reserve at Denver, and these Hampshire gilts, they look good right now, but more importantly, they're the right type and kind, and they know what it takes to get to the big ring and win, and these type of gilts can do that. 311 and 312 are the tags that we've got in here. They're not litter mates. They're litter off. 311 there that Harper's got's going to be closest to the gate, and she is a HH 308. That's a boar there at Jesse's, which is exclamation on 345's mom. And then this one, Sal, is the ice cold Sal, the 214-11. Her mother's the very best litter they've raised, and they think that this gilt here is one of the big time show gilts of the deal, and I agree with that. Her starting at her set and angulation to her shoulder, she's got half of them beat there because she's got good set and curvature. She's extended, she's loose, she's level, she's correct. As you wheel behind her, she's got a square hind leg, and that's the type of Hampshire gilt that it takes at the end right there, because she's got them beat in terms of looseness, flexibility. She's got real back shape. These Hampshire gilts will get stout, burly in a hurry, and I think that 311 gilt is awfully good. 312, as I looked at them there this morning when we got in, she's another one that same kind of presence on the side. She is a 345 herself. 345 is a board that's not available for everybody to use on Seaman. I know that Kennedy bought in, got some frozen, got in on the front side of that, and 345 sired the Lancaster pig there last year. The pig national show bear of the year with the Pig Planet that won Expo and Louisville. Mother is the 213-7 Sal, and I think daughter is the just a very, very good one in terms of this sow. What they're talking about, start a sow herd or go try to win a pig show is what Todd put on there, and that's something they believe in because pedigree-wise she's got a lot of value. Same as the one in the ring, loose, flexible, good looking on the side, balanced. Another one. These guys have got their front feet right, proportional. As you wheel behind them, they're square out of their hip and hind leg. Savage Genetics brought good ones in the past on this Hampshire deal. I think this is two of the better ones they've ever put together. 311, 312 Hampshire gilts. This is our final. This is our conclusion. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Walton and CCI Kennedy Ventures, and also want to thank everybody for tuning in here. Winning Traditions going to do a little aisle preview, and then I think the sale is going to start roughly right around that 6:30 range. I'm not sure. It's probably some weird time. Thank you.